So as you can see, it wasn't all just heavy, serious campaigning. They also had a minute to laugh out loud. Those were excerpts from what happened at Bolgatanga during the president's campaign tour over there. Some comedians giving people a minute to relax and enjoy during the heavy election campaigning season. And speaking of which, it's only 15 days to the December 7th polls and 3 days till the showdown between Martin Amidu and Alfred Agbeshiwoyome. Today is Monday, 21st November, and this is Joy News Interactive. Let's get chatting about all the issues that keep your mind spinning. Issues like December 7th is not a public holiday. Yes, we vote and are supposed to get back to work or school or whatever. And social media, fake announcements, fake news sites, and people abusing the relative freedom on social media to post false news. And other issues cropping up this morning, the elections, yes, on December 7th, 15 days from now. You know, did the IGP perhaps have a valid point when he said he'll consider banning social media? Think about it. Plus, the Black Queens are showing real class in Cameroon when they overturned a goal deficit to beat newcomers Kenya 3-1 at the ongoing African Women's Nation Cup. Perhaps it's time to push the Black Stars to the side and let the women's national team take all the shine. And you know, as we do, our J&I poll this morning: should ethnic or tribal politics be tolerated on the campaign trail from politicians? Just vote yes or no on our Facebook page. That's Joy News on TV. Now, since this is an interactive program, you can find us on WhatsApp 0560800000. On Facebook, that's Joy News on TV, and on Twitter, it's also Joy News on TV, and our handle is JNI Interactive GH. I'm Jennifer Ekwamwa. Let's get started. Now, we know social media has its upsides, but when it comes to news, don't believe everything you read there. Well, there was an announcement which was circulating on WhatsApp over the weekend that alleged that the NPP presidential candidate had flown out of the country. Meanwhile, he was right here in Ghana, in the eastern region, making promises to the electorate over there. But bearing that in mind, there was also a recent statement from President Mahama expressing concern that social media can be a menace during elections and threaten society. The IGP, John Kudalo, also got into a tussle when he declared that he would ban social media completely on election day if it was used to cause dissension. He was roundly criticized, but in the light of the fake news sites and false stories being circulated, does the IGP and the president have a point? Should social media be banned at least for December 7th? We will be joined by Selim Branti of M Pedigree via Skype shortly, but let's take some of your views on that on Facebook and WhatsApp right now. We know we also have a couple of other issues going on this morning. December 7th, should it be a public holiday or not? And in case you're wondering, December 7th is the day that we go to the polls. And we were talking about the Black Queens as well, taking all the shine in Cameroon, beating their Kenyan counterparts 3-1. Perhaps it's time to move the spotlight off the main team and focus purely on the Black Queens and perhaps the Black Maidens or the Black Princesses. This is Joy News Interactive. Send us your views at 0560800000 and Facebook and Twitter. That's Joy News on TV. We'll take a quick break shortly, but first we'll take some of your views on Facebook. And don't forget, we have our J&I poll running this morning. Should ethnic or tribal statements made during the campaign trail be encouraged or tolerated? Vote yes or no right now on our Facebook page. That's Joy News on TV. Now, on the social media ban, Prince Nuruddin Baumia starts, well, this social media ban on election day will sound so whimsical and capricious. The panacea to curb violence is tightened security, period. Daryl Asante, nobody can block social media unless the owners of the platforms. And the only thing you can do is block the internet through the IPs. If not, whatever you do, we will bypass it. Banton says, I support him. Some of the media stations are using social media platforms to create tension. Nana Kwesi Ajay says, all that is happening is a plan to ban social media. Sana Mohammed, it will not be banned because it will bring negative perception to the people of Ghana because they believe there will not be transparency. Abdul, I support this because people are now abusing social media too much. Dembo Manaf, why on earth will you even think of putting a ban on social media? Mr. John Kudolo, rather educate, raise awareness, and do your job well. Forget social media. It's the least of Ghana's problems on election day. Kwamina Finn, Nunu, and how will a ban on social media help? Everybody knows you don't have to believe whatever you read on social media without verifying it. Habib Abubakar says, yes, I support this because we abuse it. Pat K. Redu says, no, it's called freedom. It's called free speech. Musa, why the ban on social media, Ayuba? It should be banned on that day. Salifu says it should not be banned. Nanayao agrees yes, and he says yes twice. So keep on sending us your views on that on our Facebook page, Joy News on TV. Do you agree now that perhaps it's time, in the light of all the false news circulating on social media, that perhaps a ban on social media on December 7th is actually a step in the right direction as planned by the IGP, or rather proposed by the IGP, John Kulalo. But speaking of elections, I don't know if you know this, but December 7th is not a public holiday. You're supposed to vote, then get on with your life. And it's, you know, it's always felt like a public holiday, but technically it isn't. And you shared your thoughts with us on this.
I think it should be a public holiday because somebody is willing to vote, but then due to the nature of the job, he or she can't leave her post or his post to just go and vote, because the boss might not say, okay, I know we are voting, but then I need you to do this for me. Leaving the job to vote is kind of, I don't know how to put it, but I think some people will be willing to vote, but due to their job, they can't just leave the job and then go and vote. So if they make it a public holiday, people will be more willing to vote. Those who don't have that time will know, okay, it's a public holiday, so they'll make time and then go and vote.
It's good it's not a public holiday because it's a working day. And then going to vote doesn't mean that you should go on holiday. After voting, you go back to your office or whatever, continue the day-to-day activity. Yeah.
Back to your work. Because of late, there are many holidays in the town that doesn't give us anything. Yes, because holiday, you go to the beaches and those kind of things. Why you should have worked for someone to benefit? Because on December 2nd too, there will be another holiday. As from the farmers' holiday, that they postpone it. And then December 7th too, it won't be possible for them to give us a holiday. But I like that procedure, that it should not be a holiday for us.
For me, I think it should have been holiday because, you know, it's a voting day. I hope you understand me. Going to work will disturb people by voting. I hope you understand me. So if they could think about something and then do it maybe holiday, so that maybe people will get more chance to do what? To vote.
7th December, I think it should not be a holiday. I think people need to go to work. So, I mean, because when you're idle, I mean, you find work for yourself. I mean, people resort to violence and other things. So, I think basically employers should understand that even though it's an election day, they have to come to work, but employers need to give the workers a little time or some, space for them to go vote. I think that would be the best. Holidays, people will resort to violence, especially when they don't have anything to do.
Because we have to also monitor the results of the election, and we have to also rest after queuing for long hours, because we can't go to work and then at the same time be monitoring the election. If somebody rigs the election, what would we do? So it's supposed to be holiday. Employees have to understand that on the 7th December, we are not supposed to work. In Ghana, they are supposed to make it holiday for us.
So those were your views on a December 7th, a public holiday or not. Either which way, that's the day that Ghana goes to the polls. Now, some messages coming in on the social media, perhaps a ban. Social media cannot be a catalyst to violence on December 7th. The polls, but the security agencies, electoral commission, political parties involved, and the media all need to work professionally, and that's from Ocha in Bekwai. Now, on it being a public holiday or not, and that's, I'm talking about December 7th, the day we go to the polls, I support that it be made a holiday so that all of us can support the free and fair election that we want, and that's from Ora in Konongo. Derico in Wa says, good morning. It should be a public holiday because voting ends at 5 p.m. and it's possible that you can be in a queue from morning till evening. Now, Enrico Azuma says, no, that's for the ban on social media. Ferguson, personally, I don't think it's a prudent idea to ban social media on the day of the elections, but we must rise above speculations culminating in fear, panic, and falsehood. And yes, well, the IGP should even come and apologize to Ghanaians for even saying that he will ban social media. And that's Ebenezer and Takwa. That's your point of view. So keep on sending us those messages on WhatsApp and on Facebook. We've got more coming up on Joy News Interactive after this break.
You know what time it is. Look at the palm bigger. What's the time? Right? CT. Now. What? Got my guns ready. Now. Look at the palm bigger. Okay. You know what time it is. Look at the palm bigger. What's the time? Right? CT. Now. What? Got my guns ready. Now, look at the palm right. Okay. You know what time it is. Look at the palm bigger. What's the time? Right. CT. Now. What? Got my guns ready. Now, look at the palm right. Okay. You know what time it is. Look at the palm bigger. What's the time? Right. CT. Now. What? Got my guns ready. Now. Look at the palm right. Okay. You know what time it is. Look at the palm bigger. What's the time? Right. CT. Now.
Now that's what they call senior car directing right there. In case you ever need some lessons, let me know. I'll hook you up. Thanks for staying with us. This is Joy News Interactive. We're still taking your views on some of the big issues today here in Ghana and around the world. A couple of your messages here first. Pascal in Konongo saying, good morning. December 7th should be a holiday to ensure free, fair, and peaceful elections. Now, NPK says, we will make it a holiday when President Mahama maintains the seat. So you already have your plans there. Says, I think it should be good for us to have that day as a public holiday. Now, on the ban on social media, Erasmus Ali says, I support the idea of banning social media because people have already started abusing it. Here we go. Okay, that one, it says it should be a holiday because after being in a long queue, you have to rest and monitor the election's outcomes. And here's another one, says it should not be a holiday go and vote and go back to work. Ghana must move forward. And then, in fact, I'll put my aggressive staff on duty that day and says, oh, they can make December 7th a holiday, but what about health workers? Health workers don't have any holiday. What are they doing about it? And that's from Boachi in Pandai, ECG Hospital, Northern Region. So keep on sending us those messages on 0560800000. That's WhatsApp, Facebook, where Joy News on TV. To be or not to be December 7th, voting day. Should it be a holiday or not? Let us know. Plus, a couple of issues. Social media ban back on the table again. It could be a source for violence and dissension, and well, at least that's according to the IGP. And after looking at some of the very false news that's been circulating over the weekend, it could be an issue. Let us know what you think about that. But now on to the women of the moment, the Black Queens of Ghana. They are playing like true champions at Cameroon, and that's during the ongoing African Women's Nation Cup. You know, they were down by a goal, then they overturned it, and they beat Kenya. I mean, thorough beating, 3-1. Super stuff, ladies. As Beyonce would say, you're slaying. But that got us thinking, isn't it about time that the spotlight shifted from, you know, black stars to now the Black Queens? After all, they are outperforming their male counterparts. Let's see what you think about that. King Julian first says, this team is good, but their goal scoring efficiency is very bad. They only scored 2 goals by creating 2 clear chances. I think the strikers should spend more time on how to score in training. Paul says, that's great. We will support you more than the so-called black stars who are only there for more money. Hartwell Amuzu says, well, the black stars, who are they? But now he wants the Black Queens to go higher. Sana Muhammad says, yes, because the black stars have disappointed Ghanaians a lot. At Manifesto says, funny how they won 1 match and everybody's like, yeah. We all know how this will end. Really, at Manifestive, and how will this end? Do tell. Prince Nuruddin says, our players always sacrifice their precious life and time to raise the image of the country, yet we fail to motivate them. Abdul, we'll only do that if they continue winning, because this 1-game win is not enough to convince us. Paul Adokisi, let's give a little attention to the Black Stars. Let's give a little attention to the Black Stars, to the Queens, and we shall reap gold. Flex K. Jermaine, they did well. Congratulations. Rain B. Jonah. The women's under-20 team are also participating in the World Cup, but we're not focusing too much on them. That's very, very true, Flex G. So we should also, you know, put the spotlight on the Black Maidens as well as the Black Queens and focus less on the Black Stars. More messages on whether it should be a holiday or not. Chevi in Hohoi says it should be a holiday in order to make us have our eyes on the ball. Speaking of which, our J&I poll this morning, we're looking at ethnic or tribal arguments on the campaign trail, and should they be tolerated? Vote yes or no. That's on Facebook. I'll read the results of that shortly. But first, it seems the holiday issue is really taking up a lot of our time this morning. Okay, well, here's one for the Black Queens. Well done, Black Queens. But, you know, it's not appropriate to compare the Black Stars to the Black Queens because it's a different encounter altogether. Thank you. Well, thanks for sharing your opinion with us. Well done to the Black Queens. And I don't think December 7th should be a holiday. Ghana must work. And that's from Stephen Odru from Tottenham, London. And you're watching live on your computer at work. Speaking of which, we're live on YouTube and on Facebook, so you know you can watch us right there, as well as on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. NPK says, let's just forget about the Black Stars and concentrate elsewhere. Now, on the social media ban, if social media is going off on election day because of the information, the same people will put there, then what happens to the TV and radio stations, because the same information will be coming from them as well. Last one on the holidays, December 7 should be a public holiday to allow everybody the chance to vote. But for the banning of social media, it's a non-starter. The IGP should not try And does he have the legitimacy to block it? That's Yao Frimpong from Presbyterian University. And now let's take a look at our J&I poll this morning. We're looking at ethnic or tribal arguments being used on the political campaign trail and whether this should be tolerated. Let's check out some of your views. I asked you to vote yes or no. Now, Mikwa Kwame says, well, saying and doing, which one has more effect? So that one you don't agree. Ni Senya Joseph says it doesn't make sense, so no. King Julian, clearly you're saying that there's nothing anybody can do about it, although you do not agree, so it should not be tolerated. Megani Stephen, well, you're saying it's only become an issue now. Not really. Trinibua James, no. Banton, Noabete saying no. Mohammed Sana saying no. Lias Latan, no. Abdul, yes. Jobs Clifford saying a big no. Samuel Cornelius saying no, it should not be tolerated. Best George saying no. Blessings, that's another no. Bature, no, you don't agree. Phineas says no. You say, well, you say by the president. KP Rich also another no. Another no. Ekwaba saying no, never, no, no, and capital no. So thanks for sharing all your thoughts and your views with us on our J&I poll this morning, as well as on WhatsApp and on Facebook on all the issues we've been looking at. And let's see, a couple more messages. Yes, you're voting no. You do not believe in the use of ethnic or tribal politics on the campaign trail. On the holidays, 7 December must be a public holiday because politicians cannot be trusted, and that's from Mubarak Abukari from Willensi, which, by the way, is an area that has also experienced clashes between the NPP and NDC supporters. Gershon from Accra, it should be a holiday on that day so that students would get the opportunity to vote. Yes, and here's one says, yes, it should be a holiday for rest. That's December 7th. And here's one, Niesta Al-Hassan Bugri says, who should vote and who should go to work? December 7th is automatically a public holiday. Thanks for sending us your views and your comments this morning on Joy News Interactive. Time for me to love you and leave you with the video of the day. Enjoy.